Friends, hello. I hope you are well. It is crazy out there. My God, I think all of our portfolios, from the investing and the stock market to crypto, are just off. They're off in space at this point. I mean, if you don't like what's going on right now, I don't know. If you're not making money right now, I don't know where you're putting your money. But let's talk about Palantir. Okay, so everyone's talking about Palantir. What more can we get out of Palantir? Is Palantir going to keep going up? Is it overvalued? Should I sell out my Palantir? Should I buy more of Palantir? Should I take out a loan to buy more Palantir? Listen, these are all good questions. I mean, they really are. But I really do believe with a lot of stocks and a lot of CEOs and situations, and I've said this a million times, but you have to follow breadcrumbs. You have to follow what's going on right now. So let's start picking up some breadcrumbs here and seeing what they bring to the table. So out there, just in the general media, what are you seeing? There's not too many. It's hard to really find negative articles about Palantir at this point. I mean, they're even the ones that are kind of like iffy before you pick on them. You know, how high will Palantir go? Why I sold all my Palantir stock. Analysts adjust Palantir stock ratings. Palantir has been the biggest moving stock here of this year. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, you could have bought Palantir stock in the teens at the beginning of the year, and now look where you would have been. Huge momentum. These are the kind of stocks we're talking about here, obviously, that make people rich. This is how people get stupid rich without even knowing it. But it depends what you do. There is a fork in the road right now where people are going like, I'm just going to sell everything and just get out of here. I completely understand why people are saying that about Palantir, because they've never made this much money with a stock. They've never seen this kind of money, and we're in a unique situation right now where the stock market is on steroids right now because Trump won the election. So it's all good, it's great, and then we still got rate cuts coming here. But there is, the big problem right now with Palantir is everyone's kind of, trying not to turn on the other one, but we're going like, what should we do with Palantir? So personally, I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing with Palantir. I can't tell you what everybody else is doing. I know what some people are doing. I have friends and whatnot, and there's a few people that, I use as a guiding light on YouTube that I watch, and I follow what they're doing. I think you cannot invest alone. If you're doing this alone, it's going to be a lot harder for you. You've got to listen to people. You've got to find your gurus, your people, and just, don't invest alone. If you don't know who you are, like people don't know me personally. I don't know people personally, but I look and see what they're doing. We're all trying to do good here in the stock market. So, that's a good place to be. But the problem that you're seeing right now with Palantir is they've made so much money. Now they're going, I think I should just sell out. I'm nervous. I should just sell out. Okay, let's break that down. Okay, so obviously, Palantir is at all-time highs here. I mean, it is all-time. We're about to break 60. There's no doubt about that, okay? When I was telling people Palantir was going to... I think when we all were... I hate to say just me because we were all saying it, but, before Palantir got to 30, we were saying Palantir's going to 30. People were going, there's no way. Then we were saying Palantir's going to 40. People were saying, there's no way. Then we were saying it's going to 50. People were going, there's no way it's going to 50. It's already overvalued. There's no way they're going to break through these quarterlies that they're projected to make. We're way past that right now, okay? We're way past all that scuttlebutt, okay? Way past it. Now the question is, okay, obviously there's no ceiling at this point. Palantir has met its valuation at this point. We'll just call it at 60, 70 because we're going there. I think it's pretty obvious to say we're going to capture 60. 70 is probably the next leg here. If the market keeps going the rate it's going, which it very well could. I personally am expecting some sort of sell-off here before January, but the question is, how big is the sell-off going to be? I don't know. It may not be that big of a sell-off. Even if Palantir met a bad day here soon, which it will, there will be a problem here in the market here sooner than later. It's not just going to keep going up. But that is the moment in time where, well, what's the new bottom for Palantir? Is $50? Is $48 the new low for Palantir? Holy shnikes, like that's still really expensive. Yeah, it's expensive because you're having to pay to play at this point. It's expensive because we know what's coming down the road with Palantir. And this is and I don't want to talk about this too much because I've said it, I've spoken on this so many times. I know people that listen to me over and over yap my mouth here. It's the breadcrumbs, man. You got to follow the breadcrumbs with what Alex has been saying. The CEO, Alex Karp, he's been talking this year a lot and saying, And when a CEO is talking a lot, that's a good thing. You want to see the CEO come out and just comfortably talk. Why do you think Tesla does so well? For one, not to mention it's just Tesla, but their CEO is very popular and he talks a lot. He gets his face out there. He gets his words, his thoughts out there. It's not always good, obviously, but for general investing of the company, it works out very well. But Alex, you're starting to see do that a lot more. And things that Alex has been saying are, we're undervalued. We have no competition. We had no ceiling. There's things coming that I can't talk about, but they're huge. Alex was saying this 60 days ago, where he was like, there's some big things coming here. Turns out he was talking about these quarterlies that were the biggest quarterlies the company's ever seen. Second of all, there's still deals. There's contracts happening. Not to mention, we just had a Trump win. So what does that mean? That means we know from Trump's past history, he's very into spending a lot of money in our defense. So, Palantir already having defense contracts with the United States, and a good friend of Elon Musk works over at Palantir, is connected with Palantir. So, it's a double whammy. I mean, it's just cherry on top of an already cherry cake here. That it's just overflowing at this point. There's no doubt that Palantir is going to keep capturing big contracts with big government contracts here going into 2025, but they could be a lot bigger, and not to mention just all these other random big contract deals that we've been seeing coming in for Palantir. Okay, the next quarterlies are going to be in February of 2025. There's no telling where Palantir is going to be at that point. There's no telling where the market's going to be. I don't. We're in a episode that we have not been in before, friends. This is not a rerun. This is whole new ground. We're in uncharted waters at this point, okay? Like, if anybody, the safest thing to say at this point is, yeah, Palantir is going to keep going up. The market's going to keep going up. There will be a sell-off here. There will be a sell-off. But that's the problem. How low is the sell-off going to be? It's probably not going to be enough to where people are going to realize what's going on. Palantir's sitting at $58 right now. We're definitely going to, it's not going to take much more volume just to get to 60, okay? So with that, we're looking at a situation where Palantir, if it does have a bad day of sell-off, it may just sell off to $50, $49. That's the reality of the situation, which most of you are probably still in a heavy profit zone, okay? Look at this, okay? Think about this right here. Let's think about this, okay? Nvidia as well will they'll be releasing their quarterlies here. Nvidia here, okay? Nvidia's still got a lot coming here, but look at what the conversations that are happening right now with Palantir are the same conversations that were happening with Nvidia this year, okay? And obviously, for the person wanting to leave me a very positive comment right now, before you write the comment, let's talk about this. I know they're two different companies with two different situations, okay? But the rhetoric is very much the same here, okay? So look at this. When we were having these same conversations about Nvidia back in just July of this year, while we were all at the beach, living it up, doing our thing, working, whatnot, whatever you were doing, Nvidia was hitting all-time highs. Then Nvidia had a stock split, and then people thought, well, obviously it's going to sell off at this point. Then Nvidia came out with another quarterly where it broke all-time records again, but it kept going up. It kept going up. It kept beating analyst expectations. I mean, there's literally, you can go look at interviews from this year where these huge millionaires were coming out and saying, like, I wish I wouldn't have sold my Nvidia. I didn't know what was coming. I thought there's no way this company could keep doing what they're doing. These AI companies are breaking all the rules out there, okay? This is why I've been telling people about SoundHound. Pay attention to what's going on over there, okay? It doesn't mean it's going to make you a millionaire this year, but it's within a year or two, we're going to be talking about SoundHound like this, okay? Nvidia, talking about Nvidia is back to all-time highs. Nvidia is almost at 150, which would make it an all-time high with, market cap, all that kind of stuff. Okay, Nvidia is probably going to be a $200 stock here once again before we know it. Okay, that's once the Blackwell chip comes out, it starts reporting these earnings again, all that kind of stuff. But the rhetoric That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the conversations with Nvidia that we were having this year. Now we're having those same conversations about Palantir where people are going, it can't go any higher. It just can't. Why would it? We are living in a new age of the market right now, okay? You have to put everything together and cook it up and taste what's going on right now, okay? We're dealing with these AI companies that are breaking all the rules when it comes to earnings. They're controlling the market, they're controlling the narrative, okay? And they will be pushing your next bull market, okay? Not only that, we have a president right now that is pro-market. We have not had that in the last 4 years, and I don't mean that's a political statement. That's just the reality of the situation, okay? So now we have a guy who's in charge, who's pushing crypto, who's pushing finance, who's talking positive about the stock market, for God's sakes. He's talking positive about the market. So, listen, I've been through a Trump market and it was freaking awesome. And now that this is what I was telling people this year. Like I was having these conversations with personal friends and family members. Like, listen, if he wins, we're going to go into a market you have not seen in the past 4 years. It's going to be totally different. We're going into that market, okay? We're going into a new market. Now, this doesn't mean we're not going to be met with problems. We're not going to be met with sell-offs. We're not going to be met with things coming up with the market. Those things are going to happen. But the train is going to keep moving forward, okay? We are going into a revolutionary industrial advancement with AI right now, okay? The next 4 years, 5 years in AI are going to be something we have not seen when it comes to earnings, technology, everything. If you're not investing in these AI companies, you are missing free money. We're literally in the gold rush right now of what is going on right now with these AI companies and where you can put your money. So friends, what I'm trying to say here is, listen, you don't have to be rich to already get into Palantir. Listen, friends, I am a dad. I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel, okay? But when I got $5, when I got $10 to spare, I put it in a good company. I put it in Tesla. I put it in Palantir. I put it in Nvidia. Before you know it, you will have a good portion of your money wrapped up in these companies, okay? You don't have to have $100. You don't have to have $1,000, $5,000. Take pocket change and start investing. Put it in your Robinhood account and then just put the dollar amount in these companies, okay? Don't think you need... If you only have 1 or 2 shares of Palantir and you're embarrassed about that, don't be embarrassed about that. Look at that and go like, I've got 1 share of Palantir. I've got 1 share. I've got 2 shares. I've got 5 shares. I've got 10 shares. I've got 20 shares, okay? You know why you shouldn't be embarrassed about that? Because that's where a lot of us have started, okay? That's where a lot of people started, okay? Because years from now, if you're going into the future, maybe you've got 10 shares of Palantir and you hold it. You hold it for the next few years. Then maybe the stock gets so expensive, they come out and they say, "Hey, we're gonna do a stock split, okay? We're gonna do a 5-to-1, 10-to-1 stock split. Maybe it's just a measly 4-to-1, but maybe it's something more." Friends, now you are in life-changing money mode, okay? That's what we just saw with Nvidia happen. It happens all the time with companies, okay? These are situations that in the next 4 to 5, 6 years could make you extremely rich, where you could take your little retirement fund that you have somewhere at a company you work at right now and you could quadruple it over the next 4 years with a retirement, okay? I'm not talking about you're trying to make money here to buy a BMW, buy a water fountain, do something crazy. I'm talking about using this money to propel yourself in the next level of investing, okay? To start making huge amounts of money here with what's coming in the next 4 years with all this right here, okay? So look at it that way. Don't be ashamed if you have 1 share, 2 share, under 20 shares, maybe you have 100 shares. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome, okay? Look at it that way. Don't be embarrassed if you have just a few shares of Palantir, Nvidia, Tesla. There's a reason why you're having to pay to play right now, because we know these are the next stocks to push insane boundaries in the stock market, okay? And of course analysts, of course people are going to say, well, I just don't see it. I just don't know. That's because that's the safe route, okay? Sometimes the grass is just greener on the other side, okay? I hate that saying when people say, well, the grass is not always greener. Well, it actually is. And I think, we've seen that a lot this year in the stock market. Could you imagine if I had listened to people when they said Palantir is not going to go past $30? Those were out there. Listen, I was the guy making the videos when Palantir was at, 18, 20, 30, and I was getting comments and saying, you're just leading people down the wrong road. You should be ashamed of yourself. This stock's never going to go past $50. What if I had listened to people and sold out? DJT, when it was at $12, and I was saying, hey, it's going to go back up. If I had said, hey, don't buy this stock, it's not going to go back up, and people had listened to that, and people did, there's people that did, and they missed out on life-changing money. Friends, if I'm on here showing my face, yapping my gums, listen, I'm drinking the juice, obviously. I'm in it, okay? But I am never going to come on here and try to lead you down a wrong path. Listen, there's a reason why I haven't talked about Fubo, okay? Because Fubo's in a very dangerous situation. And the last 2 times I talked about Fubo, of course, it was met with situations of like, well, you're wrong. Fubo's going to go up. And listen, there's people on YouTube talking about Fubo that I respect highly and saying that it's going to go up. I don't see that right now. I believe in Fubo, and I shouldn't even be talking about this, but maybe I'll talk about it another day. But Fubo's got some problems internally that it's got to deal with before it sees the light at the end of the tunnel. That's all I'll say about Fubo. But there's a reason I'm not talking about Fubo, because no one wants to hear me talk negative about it. So these are positive things I'm talking about right now with Palantir, with all these AI companies. Friends, I want to encourage you. I want to wish you well. This is just but the taste and start of what's coming. Listen, if Palantir sells off this week, consider it a blessing. Consider it. Go, thank God. Thank God it sold off. Because guess what we're gonna do when it sells off? Guess what the negative comment person is gonna do when Palantir sells off? They're gonna buy it. They're gonna buy it. They're gonna come in and they're gonna start buying Palantir. Okay? And then when they're buying it at $50 and you're already holding it at $40, they're making you more money. The people that buying in at $60 right now, because they didn't buy in at 40, 50, they're going to be making you more money. And then the people that buy in at 70 are going to be making them money. The people that buy in at 70, holding it, and then they're going to come in at 80, they're going to be making them money. Don't be scared and don't be naive that this is a runaway train at this point. We're about to see money we've never seen before. Don't be scared to make money right now. Don't be scared to ride the train of wealth that's coming. Friends, I'm going to shut up. I wish you all a great weekend. We'll talk soon. Be excited. And at this point, you better pray there's some sell-off at this point, because listen, I want more Palantir. I want to buy more. But is it going to sell off any? It's going to be a matter of time before the stock is at $100. It's coming, okay? That's the realization of the whole story. $100 is coming, and it's coming just off the zeitgeist and the hype around it, okay? That's what's going to be the next level of pushing Palantir. It's the hype. You're buying hype apart from the company too. Take care, friends.